Hey everybody, HMV here, playing more Kerbal Space Program, and I've made a new ship, the Kill Me Not. That's this guy right here. He is designed specifically to not abandon his crew around Minmus. I have no idea what his Delta V is, but in my testing, he has far more fuel in orbit than the other ship did. And as usual, he's a crazy design. And also, as usual, I screwed up the recording of this and didn't record the audio for the first 5 minutes. So you're going to hear me in post now. Let's go ahead and send this guy to the launch pad, though, and see what is up. And as it's all in post, I'm not going to show you the whole launch or all the ditties, but we do got some solids, which really surprised me. It surprised me that solids in this version of the game with the limits, the weight limits, that solids were a viable option at all. They are. The extra oomph they give you right at the beginning to get you going fast, get you up off the launch pad, is amazing. It made the difference between getting to orbit with a lot of fuel and getting to orbit with a little fuel. So I'm impressed. This guy, all you got to do is get him to 10 degrees before the solids run out, between 5 and 10 degrees, over on the launch pad, and then you just turn off the computer and let him do his thing. I did have to drag him down a little bit once he got up to about 10 kilometers. He wasn't quite at 45 degrees, but other than that, it ran fine. And in lieu of watching me talk about the ship anymore, I'm going to cut to when we're in orbit, and I'm actually talking. Okay, now I'm talking into the mic. Sorry about that. I suck at record. What are you going to do? But anyway, we are now in space, so I can time warp faster here. And we're at 157 units. Like I said, I had 156 during my first test, and I deemed that enough. Now, my first test, all I did was get into orbit and then say, you know what, this looks like enough. So we're basically in the same boat we were before, because I have a feeling that I'm not going to have to use much more than a unit of fuel here to get myself in orbit. There we go, 77 by 79. I'm happy. And we're at 155. We're 1 unit less than we had before. Okay, well, you saw me getting to Minmus the first time, so I'm not going to bore you with that. If you really want to see me get to Minmus, check out last episode. I will instead meet you when we are there. Okay, we got our apoapsis. I wanted to stop here for a second and show you I've got 77.5-ish units of fuel. That is fairly close to half of what I started with when I was in orbit. I had 155. 77.5 is actually, is that exactly? Exactly half of 155? I don't think it is, but it's really close. But anyway, having half of my fuel that I had when I started means that I have more than half of the Delta V when I started. And if you know anything about Minmus, to land on Minmus and get back to Kerbin takes less than it took to get out there. So I think this means I'm fine. Again, this is all back of the envelope calculations that don't have any relation to reality. Here comes Jeb. Looks like he might be a little bit behind Minmus. He is. We planned for this, though. In this entire thing, we are going to take high over Kerbin science, because it is worth stuff. Let's go ahead and keep this data. Let's observe the materials bay. Keep this data. And we're going to observe the mystery goo. And keep this data. And we are just going to come back down. And then I'm going to launch again and get up in here. I'm going to show you the reentry. And then I'm not going to, then I'm going to come back when we're actually launching our next ship. And I'm going to bring my periapsis down to about 35. I think that'll be fine. Now, one nice thing coming in from this height is we actually have a decent amount of fuel left in the ship. So we're going to flip it around. And when we get close to our periapsis, maybe when the fireworks starts, we're going to end this. Now I want to watch my goo and my parachute, because I don't want either to burn up, ideally. I'm concerned about the mystery goo, not gonna lie. Nor do I want the pod to explode. I think we're gonna be fine here. The most important thing is the parachute. Well, the pod and the parachute. The two. The pod and parachute. Both are required to get Jeb back home safe. The next most important thing is the two science things, which so far seem to be okay. Trying to keep them blocked, but I understand that the mystery goo's out, and there's a reason the mystery goo's actually out. It's not just a miss. Oh, great. Coming in over mountains. It's like the worst place to land. But we wouldn't have it any other way, right? Sorry about the air conditioner. I would get up and turn it off, but I'm terrified for my life. Yeah, this is the absolute worst thing that could have happened. But I set this thing up knowing that we would possibly be having some trouble. This can land in the water. I actually tested it landing in the water. And also, if it lands on land, it's coming down butt first here. So as soon as we get below 250 meters per second, oh geez, we can see the trees and we can't hit our chute because we're going 2 times faster than we need to. I think this will actually keep us upright a little bit like a plane would. I don't know if aerodynamics works that way in the game. Not like we're gliding in for a landing or anything, but okay, we're at 200. I'm actually going to let this go a little bit. Try to get over this area here, just to give ourselves a little bit more air under our ship. Looks like we're not going to clear this though. We also have to give ourselves enough time for the chutes to open, so yeah, I'm pulling the chute right now. Yeah, this could be better, let's say that. But what's going to happen is the ship's going to hit down on the engine, and ideally the chute will stay open until this thing comes all the way down. I don't know that, but it does sometimes, so I'm hopeful. I've turned off time warp. We are coming down at 8.9 meters per second. And it couldn't have been better. We are now sliding though. And we cannot... Oh boy. There goes our science. But Jeb lived with his thermometer. Yeah, that was the absolute worst. But you can see that if we had landed anywhere but that mountain, we probably would have been fine. We got a massive 30 science for that. That was garbage. Science data from space around Caveman. Let's go ahead and accept that contract because you know we're going to get it. And these both give us science, I believe. Yeah. So that's better than nothing. Okay, well, I'm going to launch another ship, and I'm basically going to keep doing this. I might show you the next reentry just because it'll be different than this one. But there's no reason to actually watch me do stuff. I'm going to do these launches and come back when I'm actually got this thing in orbit around Minmus finally. I'm back a little bit earlier than I said I would be, but I was kind of proud of myself. I got into orbit with 172 units of fuel left. I almost carried my second tank all the way into orbit, which is kind of cool. But we're trying again here with our Minmus burn. And we're basically going to do the same thing we did last time, except for not go up as far. Because we kind of missed Minmus on the bottom side before. And if this fails, we're going to catch those high over... you know what? I think I forgot to do a crew report. We're going to catch those high over Caveman sciences again and bring them back down. And actually get them this time. But this is looking better. It looks kind of like Minmus might... Yeah, Minmus passed us by. I gotta start when Minmus is farther this way. I'm starting when Minmus is a little bit too close this way. Okay, the flames have started. So I'm I'm going to aim myself perfectly retrograde and hit the gas to A, use up all my fuel, and B, help my orbit slow down. Of course, it's pitch black, and for some reason I don't have my Blizzy toolbar with the thing on it. I'm not sure what happened to it, but I can't set the brightness up, sorry. Okay, the engine's done. Got a little bit of heat on the goo, but I'm not really that concerned. Considering we've bled off about half of our speed since we started here. If we look in map mode here, wow, it's just pitch black, isn't it? I quite literally have no idea where we're going to land. I'm just going to pull the chute when we're going under 250 and hope. And at 7.5 or less meters per second, we have a nice splashdown. And oh wait, we can actually we can roll this guy around. I don't think it's gonna matter. I just realized we could have taken a that's pretty amusing. Don't touch that goo container because it's obviously quite hot. Let's go ahead and take the data, store the data. Come on, I'm hitting jump and clamber, but apparently, come on, Jeb, you are a superstar. Okay, fine, we'll just recover you. 60 science, that works for me. We got 90 total. That means we can actually unlock another tech tree node, and I'm starting to think this is a really good idea. This will super lower the cost of our ships because we can't do much with the Kerbals anyway, although it is nice. And also, you know what, with this, Bob could go up. Solar panels, I don't think we need them. I think we can live without this node. This node is adapters. Docking ports would be nice. We could actually launch 2 things and construct them in orbit. But honestly, I don't think that's going to be happening. More science is probably the most important thing in the entire thing here. This weighs too much. Landing gear wouldn't be bad. Smaller engines, especially the 48.7S, definitely would help. The question is, what would help more, the 48.7S or the more science? I'm going to go with the 48.7S. And I'm going to redesign, and I'll be back again. All right, after hours of designing and testing vessels, I have finally come to the conclusion that the original ship was actually the right way to go. I was never able to get as much fuel as I needed into orbit with anything but the Terrier. So the Terrier is what we're going with. And I hope I did this right. It looks like we're a little bit before the Minmus gets there. I'm just going to assume it's going to work. If it doesn't, we'll probably figure something else out. I don't know why I had no trouble getting to Minmus the first like 3 or 4 times I tried it, and then now I'm just having endless problems. But this is looking a lot better here. Yeah, we're gonna meet it this time. And this time I got into orbit. Oh, seriously? What was wrong this time? You know what? I'm gonna burn for it like I did before. But we're not gonna land on it. We're not gonna land on Minmus. We're just going to let's roll ourselves around so that we're aiming the right way. Okay. We're just going to catch up to it. Probably. Seriously? I guess, oh yeah, see, we're too high. Dang it. Space is hard. And we're definitely not going to try to land on Minmus. But we should have enough fuel to get readings in space low over Minmus. Oh yeah, easily. Seriously, I'm starting to think we can land. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make the executive decision and hit F5 here. We're going to try to land. And if that fails for any reason, I am going to restore from that quick save. This will get us actually a nice polar landing. 7,000 meters is perfect. Val seems to be perfectly fine where she is. I have no idea which direction Jeb is coming from. There he is, coming from the bottom. Whoa. Okay, I see exactly where we're going to try to land. Yeah, 220 meters per second. It cost us about $1,000 to get out here. We started with 170, and we're at 50 now, which means we've used 120 to do all this crazy stuff. I think we have enough fuel. I really think we do. Okay. Let's get ourselves right to the edge of this area here. We slow down to about 100. Okay. We're in orbit mode. I'm glad I saw that before I screwed up too much. So we're coming down this way. We can no longer time warp. We are also below the horizon, or below the mountains. Things are looking pretty good, though. See, the sun is up there, so our shadow should be down there. Oops, I see it now. Coming in at 80 meters per second. I think that's fine. One more now. That's looking pretty good. We're at 33. We were at 50 before. And you've landed. We're at 32. I think we can get home. Let's go ahead and do a crew report. Let's actually turn our computer off because we don't need it. Let's observe the materials bay. Let's take our thermometer. And let's observe the mystery goo. Keep all that data. And spin ourselves around so east is to the right. Make sure we're not going to hit the mountains, and then, oops, hit X here. Apoapsis of 10, which is absolutely perfect. Couldn't have asked for better. Yeah, Jeb's going to have plenty of fuel to get home. Sorry, Val. That's the caveman way, though. If you, if you try something and it doesn't work, you die. That's the way cavemen are. And of course, Val won't die. She'll just take up a spot on my roster, which means hiring a new pilot if I kill Jeb is going to cost more than it would if she died. And actually, if she died, I'd get her back. So there's that I'm missing out on. Okay. Oh yeah, we got plenty of fuel. Plenty, 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 plenty. This is the way these missions are supposed to go. Okay, Kerbin. Minmus. Actually, why did I go to Kerbin? I just want to know where Kerbin is. So right around here. This is us, right? Kill me not. Yeah. Right around here. Now we want to burn prograde. And we want to burn about, I think it's about 200 meters per second. So we're going 157. I want to burn up to 357. That feels like more than I need. So I'm going to stop there. And we did need to burn more. But let's burn kind of inward and retrograde. Kind of like this. We got plenty of fuel. We're going to get our periapsis down to that 35 that seems to have worked so well for us in the past. There we go. Our apoapsis is a little higher. We are coming in on the day side, though, so we got that going for us. And, yeah, we're going to hit F5 and bring Jeb home. And at least we can end this episode on a happy note. There we go. Perfect. Perfect, I say. We have yet to hit the atmosphere, which means we're doing well. Okay, let's get these guys aimed backwards. We're down to 18 electric charge, which really should be enough. The good news is we're not going to come in over those mountains. I'm actually going to set these things sideways so I can tilt up and then get him out of the airflow here, like that. Of course, that brings our parachute into the heat, which is bad. Okay, we're at 43 here. Might as well use up the gas here. There you go. It's gone. I'm watching my parachute and the mystery goo. The whole key here is to save them both. Oh, what did I just lose? I just lost the mystery goo. God, that scared me. I was up here looking up here to see if I had a contract, and whew, well, we lost the mystery goo. What are you gonna do? I guess I should come in at about 40 kilometers then. And in case you're wondering, I actually put the parachute and the mystery goo here instead of here because I wanted the mystery goo to soften the blow on the Science Junior, which actually I don't think is all that important anymore. Because when you land, the parachute actually stays out until you've rolled over. So I think we could actually put the mystery goo in the parachute here. I think I'll try that for the next trip up to Minmus. And we're actually coming in fairly close to the Kerbal Space Center, which is kind of cool. Although we're going to go right over it because we're going up in our orbit. We're still at 28. We're actually not even going to aerobrake all the way down. So yeah, next time, oh wow, he got really hot. He's actually on the verge of exploding. Ooh, okay, he's cooling down. That would be bad. If he exploded, we lose our parachute. As well as being worried about the parachute and the materials bay dying, I'm worried about running out of electric charge. Yeah, mounting the parachute on the Science Junior, now that I've given it some sober thought, was probably not the best idea. Because the Science Junior is one of the weakest parts in the game. It has the worst crash tolerance, and it has the worst heat tolerance. I don't actually know what its heat tolerance is off the top of my head, but I think it's 2,000. I think it's on the bottom of the list of heat tolerances. And of course we're coming back in on mountains, but I have the feeling we're going fast enough that we're going to pass right over them. Because we have yet to drop to suborbital. Thankfully, electric charge is holding out quite nicely. Also, thankfully, that parachute is not heating up too much. And we're going to sail right over these mountains, and I don't think we're going back up again. I think this is the final orbit. But yeah, we might end up in this big long stretch of desert here. Who knows? And hopefully, we will keep our electric charge at least to the point where we're not burning anymore. Because I would like to be able to maintain control over what gets heated. Oh, parachute just lost. The parachute's actually losing heat. That's a very good sign. Yes, I'm going at 4 times time warp. Yes, we're basically at orbital speed and just cruising along 40 kilometers up. We're finally going back down again, and this is the last time. We're not going back up anymore. Just got to keep everything cool through this final descent. Of course, it's becoming night. This is the scariest part. And we're starting to see heat on the engine now, too. We're still moving fast. I think this is the Kerbal Continent, actually. No, we're still over the mountains. I think we actually have a good shot of coming down in the ocean between the two continents. Oh, it's starting to get hard to control. Which is bad, because we still got to bleed off about 500 meters per second before we're safe from heat damage. We're down to 4 electric charge units. Pirate ninjas, for anybody who has who has watched The Martian, or not watched, read The Martian. Don't say anything about The Martian in the notes. I don't want to spoil it for anybody else or myself. I haven't finished reading it. But I obviously got to the part where he starts referring to electric charge as pirate ninjas. Okay. We have somehow survived reentry. As soon as we hit 250, I am going to hit the space bar. We are, I think, over water. But I do not at any means know that for a fact. But I'm going to turn off the computer. Oh, we're out of charge anyway. I'm going to hit the parachute and ride this thing down over, it looks like water, yeah. Water off the coast of the desert, which is fine by me. And this thing is actually warming up. Hopefully it's going to cool down, because if it explodes, we lose our parachute, which I'm going to say is bad. Sucks that we lost the goo. We have yet to get a full bevy of experiments from anywhere. There we go. Now this thing should cool off, and let's recover the vessel. And we got 193 science for 210 total, which means we can unlock 2 big nodes, which I'm going to do now, and then we're going to end this episode. Okay. I will admit that I screwed up last time and really should have bought, I really shouldn't have bought that engine. I was a little bit mesmerized by it. My memories of the 48.7S are a lot better than the 48.7S actually is, because of the nerfing it got in 1.0, which I think is good. I don't think there should be an engine that's like just obviously better than every other engine. However, I kind of miss it, that all told. So really the only thing I want is I want this science experiment, and I want this probe core. Those are the only 2 things that I desperately require. So I'm going to get those 2 things, so that way I can add that science experiment to the thing, and I can, if I so choose, get a probe core. We are at the point now, though, where we need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 90. So we need 630. Is that what you do? 630 science, which means that's another 5-ish trips to Minmus, assuming we actually bring all the science back. So we need a high over Minmus, low over Minmus, and then 4 more Minmus biomes. We don't even need to go to Moon, although we could probably do high over Moon and lower Moon instead of Minmus. That's a thought. Other than that, we're done. I hope you enjoyed watching this. I definitely enjoyed playing it. I'm HMV, and I will, as always, talk at you later.